at the big game in Minneapolis in the Honda studios. Good to see you, Brian Billick.
So that's why I got to buy a Honda to get to do you in L.A.?
No. All you got to do is just enter. But you have an in already. You can't, I don't know the official rules, but I think because we know each other.
Okay, that's
because we're so tight.
I know, could be just like that. I got you.
That's a tough act to follow
That's like following Ray Lewis out of the tunnel. They used to, when I was in Baltimore, they used to introduce, and then Ray would come out.
The smoke, right?
And then I'm supposed to come out afterwards. Now, we did that for about 3 games. I go, I ain't doing that anymore. I mean, how anticlimactic. Where does my ego go trying to follow? What am I supposed to do?
Did you like that dance Ray used to do?
You know what? At first, I'm kind of old school, and I kind of thought, oh, boy, are we? But then what I came to find out, I spent 9 years, watching the opponents mesmerized. And you know those coaches the night before. Now, look, when Ray Lewis, I don't want you, we're all going to meet. Jeff Fisher used to take his team down to the other end and try to talk to them and distract them. And the guys would be going, watching Ray Lewis come out of this. They couldn't help themselves. It was you were just compelled to watch it.
Yeah, and it definitely would psych out some opponents. That is no question about that.
It psyched me out, and I was on his team. So.
That's right. He was psyched out. You didn't want to follow him coming out of the tunnel.
No way. So we changed that one right away.
So let's break this down best we can here in the man versus food coaches conversation for Super Bowl 52. What do you think? The Philadelphia Eagles, if there's one thing Doug Peterson is sitting there with either one of his coaches saying, we must do this, what is this?
You know, the good news is Philadelphia has all the talent and has shown they can do what it takes to beat the New England Patriots. Mm-hmm. They really do. If I'm Doug Peterson, and you can go through the litany of, and we all have it in the list of in your breakdown. Okay, what do you got to do to beat Tom Brady and the Patriots? Okay, you got to put pressure on Brady. You got to keep him under 35% on third down. You can't give up big plays. You got to get at least 7 hits on Brady. There's a whole litany of things you got to do. The problem is you got to do them all. You can't just do 5 out of the 6. 6 out of you got to do them all. And so what I would do is I would get the clips and show my team. I used to love it when I had a team that performed well. That I say, okay, I got you now. I got it on tape. I've seen you do the things we need to do. Now, why don't we do this every snap? And I'd be doing that. I'd be showing how we put pressure on quarterbacks, how you get creative on turnovers, how we keep teams suppressed on third down. Okay, I've seen you do it. I know we can do it. We got the talent. Now we got to do it on Sunday.
Is it true that Stokely pass that was thrown to start the scoring in the Super Bowl that you won against the Giants, that you knew that going into the week, that if Dilfer gets this look, or
what we knew was
it's over, it's a wrap.
It's a little like this week, because who are the 2 best receivers on the team? Zach Ertz and Gronkowski. Mm-hmm. In fact, on Playbook, Sean O'Hara and I did a bit on how you have to account for the tight ends. Well, what does that do? The minute you start doubling, tripling, bracketing someone like Gronkowski or Zach Ertz, that opens it up. Mm-hmm. You know, whether obviously it's going to be a Hogan or Cooks and for Philadelphia Aguilar or whatever. So you get that one-on-one matchup. So we knew that if we got down in that situation, when it was just a simple all-go route, that they were going to focus on Shannon Sharp. What we didn't realize was they're going to be 8 guys on Shannon Sharp, and Jason Sehorn got kind of betrayed a little bit. He thought he was getting help over the top, and Stokely beat him one-on-one down the field.
So the quintessential Belichick/Patricia take away the one thing that you do best. Yeah. Is Zach Ertz in this game? Do you think that's what it is? Yeah, and
I always love that. You know, I love the brilliance of Belichick, who is brilliant, obviously, greatest coach ever.
I love you said this before. Say that line. I know where you're going.
They take away what you do best compared to the rest of us, which means we're covering decoys. You know, it never occurred to us to take away your best player. They're the only ones that do that. But clearly, if you lead with Tom Brady, and less so Fultz because he's still getting familiar with Zach Ertz, but if you leave a one-on-one match, you have no one in your back end that can match up one-on-one with Gronkowski. So the minute Tom sees that, that's where he's going. So it's like I've always said, I can stop whatever you do well. I can put 8, 9 guys in the box to stop your run. I can shut. I don't care if it's Jerry Rice. I can shut him down. I can double. I can triple. I can bracket. But at what costs? Where are the other one-on-ones? Sure. And that's where they get you.
Well, Brian Billick in the Man versus Food Coaches conversation here on the Rich Eisen Show, and also on part of the SeatGeek app, which we'll talk about in a second, that the Eagles don't have to scheme their way to Brady. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
And that's usually how you can win. That's a recipe for beating
taking nothing away from them but the 2 guards for New England, Tooney and Mason. obviously good players, but they need help. That center, I did a bit on Playbook again where whoever doesn't get the help one-on-one, and when you're talking about Fletcher Cox, they can bring Brandon Graham down, they'll walk Kendricks up. They have the assets and because where is it typical? How do you get to Brady? How do you get hits? How do you move them off the spot? Bring pressure up the middle. So they're going to account for that. But again, it's like anything. If I have to account for you on the edge or on the inside, then what happens on the edges coming at you? And Philadelphia has the people and the talent to match up with what they have to do to beat New England offensively and defensively, but everybody's got to show up.
And part of the reason why you got the gig in Baltimore is the offense you coordinated here in this town, just lighting it up.
Yeah, great fun.
To record numbers. What are you seeing of Doug Peterson also, who's trying to match what you did, which is to win a Super Bowl in a second year? What is he doing with Foles with this offense that is unique in your eyes?
You have to be impressed. It's one thing to come into the Super Bowl with a backup quarterback. For us, we did it, but that transition happened week 4 or 5.
Yeah, right.
So you had a ramp-up time. What they've done to adapt from a Carson Wentz, which is, I'm not going to say it's a totally different offense. Carson Wentz is Roethlisberger-esque. He shrugs off the tackle, makes some plays, and extends the play that way. That's not Nick Foles. So for them to build on their unique running game, the RPOs, we saw the big play show up against Minnesota. It's an evolution. And to do that over the last 4 or 5 weeks and to end up in this game, I don't think Doug Peterson and his group get enough credit.
And who would you choose as coach of the year? Obviously, you got these two guys. You got
there's so many.
in Los
Sean
Angeles.
McVay, obviously, in the job that he did. But I think and it evolves, obviously. And, Bill Belichick could get it every year, but it's kind of like, no, we can't give it to him.
Well, it's in the same way that Popovich and Phil Jackson don't get it in the NBA back in the day. Sure.
But I think, given what I just said, I think that as a coach, their ability, I'm talking about Philadelphia and Doug Peterson, to adapt at the single position that you can't lose, the quarterback. And to do that in the last few weeks of the season, parlay that through as an underdog in the divisional round, the championship game, and now in the Super Bowl, I think that, to me, that's the one that puts him over the top.
Tell me about SeatGeek, what people can do with the SeatGeek.
And it's not obviously in the Super Bowl. Philly fans, I did a show this morning in Philadelphia, and they're really challenging. We gotta show up in force. You into the secondary ticket market, you got to go to SeatGeek.com. They have a thing on the app, SeatGeek.com / Super Bowl ticket tracker. It's awesome. It's like watching the stock market. They've got the trends over the last couple of years in terms of when do you buy, when do you wait, how long, when does it fall off. The get-in price now is well over $4,000, the average price, and it is, it's moving. There's the one guy that spent you spent $175,000 on one ticket. That had to be you, right?
Definitely not me, no.
No? But no, I mean, like anybody, you're going, and it's whether it's NHL, whether you're going to NBA. If you're looking for tickets, I don't know how you go to SeatGeek.com, gives you all the information you need, and every transaction is guaranteed.
It is guaranteed.
Can't
and
beat that.
Hey, look, we use it all the time for concerts.
All the time.
I took my family to Hamilton in Los Angeles using the SeatGeek app, but I haven't been on it for the Super Bowl. The question I have for you before I let you go is, if I'm +1 in the commissioner's suite and I have to choose either one of these two guys, is there any algorithm on the app that can help me choose between the two of them?
Wow, you got the clean look versus the drug lord. I mean, that's this is like
I'll take that as a compliment.
El Capo or Chapo or whatever got out or something. They have to lose the black hat. And I'd go with B.
El Tufo. El Tufo.
See?
El Tufo. Not. By the way, he just called you El Tufo, not Del Tufo.
I'll take El Tufo.
Very good. Thanks for coming, Brian.
Right,
really appreciate that. You got it. Brian Billick, again, can be seen on NFL Network and on Playbook here on behalf of SeatGeek. And then, again, was kind enough to join us in our coaches' conversation, brought to you by Man vs. Food. Casey Webb takes steps up to the table with gusto, traveling to the Ozarks to take on the Goliath, a massive cupcake equal to 22 regular-sized cupcakes. Ooh. Oh, my gosh. Then off to Philly for the Epic Classic Whale Challenge, a 13-pound bagel sandwich stuffed with cream cheese, salmon, whitefish, tomatoes, and onions. Man versus Food, only on Travel Channel, Mondays at 9 on Travel Channel. JB Smoove, when we come back, we'll start reviewing some of the questions that he did not ask that were left on the JB Smoove cutting room floor from last night. Before the aforementioned Sean O'Hara and Kurt Warner joins us in hour number 3. That's how we're rolling here on The Rich Eisen Show.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.